Unfortunately, with the tragedy of the commons, even though each of us appreciates this fact, it's still not going to be possible for us to get together and cooperate in the ways that are necessary to avoid overpopulation. And here's why. It's not as though we get directly to that last conclusion, that I am going to be worse off if I have that additional kid. It's actually that I am worse off I have kids and everyone else does too. So I'm only worse off, that is, we only get overpopulation, if I have more kids and everyone else also has more kids. If I have more kids and no one else has more kids, then I'm just better off. So the problem comes about in the following way. The best thing for me to do in this situation is to get together with everyone else and agree, hey, let's not have more kids, because having more kids is going to make all of us worse off. So we sit down and we talk, okay, no more kids. Everybody only have one, awesome, our population will decline after a generation, we're cool. Unfortunately, everybody is in exactly the same situation I am. They're thinking to themselves, well, the best possible thing for me is if everybody else sticks with the agreement and I defect. That is, I have kids and no one else does. So when each person is calculating their individual interest, they're thinking not of the situation in which everyone has kids, but they're thinking of the situation in which at least not everyone, well, how should I put this? They're thinking of the situation in which less than everyone has kids. So you can assume that a few people are going to cheat, right? You can assume that other people are going to be going along with the agreement. And as long as not everyone, or below a certain threshold, are going to cooperate, then it's okay for you to cheat, because you'll be able to get away with it. You'll be able to have more kids, which is individually advantageous, and avoid the worst outcome where there's drastic overpopulation. But as we've seen, this is just a version of the prisoner's dilemma, because everyone is in exactly the same situation. So even if they don't think that they can outsmart everyone, that they only have to they will only outsmart some people, still, everyone is going to think the same exact thing. It's the same sort of thing where everybody thinks that they're a better than average driver, but obviously that can't be true if everybody is above average, right? So it's the same sort of phenomena where we underestimate how many other people are going to have the same sort of cleverness that we do in thinking we can get away with it. Given that, everybody is in fact going to pursue their own individual interest, because it looks like they're making a mistake in understanding just how many other people will follow along and do exactly the same thing. So given that, each individual person will continue having as many kids as possible as HARDIN predicts, and you get overpopulation. That's why the tragedy of the commons is tragic. We can know that the problem is arising. We can make our best attempt at cooperating and avoiding the problem. But still, unless there is some kind of authority that can force us to keep our bargains so that we don't do what would otherwise be individually rational, as we said in the prisoner's dilemma stuff, as long as there's an individual and outside authority that can change the payoffs for us, it still will be individually rational to do the thing that's going to collectively make us all worse off, to collectively screw us all, each of us included.